TGR News, broadcasting from the State of Israel.
Welcome back to TGR News.
Shalom, shalom.
Well, this time we're doing it here with Mama.
Yeah, every once in a while I have to show my face.
Give you 2 cents.
Yeah, got to put my 2 cents in.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, we all like it when you're with us. Well, we've had another great week of passing out food, and it's all because of you guys. And donations are coming in. We can see it, and it's growing. It's going to grow. Hopefully, we get to the point. It's all up to you guys, but hopefully, we get to the point where we're feeding thousands, tens of thousands, hundreds of thousands. Praise the Lord. Right?
The more we can help, the better.
Absolutely. So.
It's still saving Jewish lives, even though we're inside Israel.
Yeah, absolutely. It's all about that. This week a lot happened.
Oh, I'm telling you.
Well, Friday night, remember last week we talked about the 6 escaped terrorists from prison here in Israel. Friday night they caught 2 out of the 6 of the terrorists were caught, and then another 2 was caught on Sunday morning. They were near Nazareth, and they were so very malnutrition, and you could tell they were really in bad shape. So the first thing Israel does, of course, is we send them to medical care and make sure they're okay and everything.
Yeah, Israel's good about that.
Yeah, we just had Yom Kippur, which is the Holy Day of Atonement, the holiest day of the year where everything's closed, no one works. But the police and the IDF kept searching through Yom Kippur for the other 2, and they will catch them.
This is important, you know. Yeah. I mean, they're terrorists.
Yep. Yeah, exactly. Yeah, exactly. One thing, though, immediately after the terrorists were caught, Gaza fired 2 rockets into Israel to show their support to the terrorists and the terrorism in general, right?
Right.
And the Arabs in Nazareth were outside the courtyard when the 4 that were caught were brought to court because they have to, go to another court date for the punishment of escape, right? Have more time in prison.
Trial and stuff,
and so the Arabs, the Nazareth Arabs there were showing their support to the terrorists and, chanting them on and everything else. And these are the people we're supposed to, have peace with and everything.
The world doesn't understand the Muslim and their way of thinking. To them, it's just always been to kill the Jews,
Absolutely.
Get rid of the Jews.
Absolutely.
And so, sometimes I think some of the modern Muslims don't understand that they need to stand up against the radical Muslims,
Yeah, absolutely. For sure. Well, on Sunday night, Gaza fired another missile, making it the 3rd rocket in 3 days. To show their support.
Supposed to be peace, right?
Yeah, to show their support again for the terrorists from that escape from prison.
Yeah, and I tell you, we can all thank Biden for all the different terrorist activities starting to come up all over the world by the way he acted with the Taliban.
And Afghanistan.
In Afghanistan. I mean, it was just, the whole world can't figure that out.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, for sure. Well, after this past escape, Israel's been doing a lot of changing in their protocols in prisons. They're now doing all terrorists, prisoners, they'll have their own private cell so that they won't be able to work together and do things and everything, right? Which is a big change. Because one of the main things about the terrorists in Israel was they were always, in groups in prison and they're, support each other and they were like make each other heroes. And so it makes it for a whole new dynamic, their prison time, which I think is a step in the right move. It's costing Israel a lot of money to do it, but I think it's a step in the right move.
Well, they have to they have to do things to keep the people safe.
Yeah. Well, I'll tell you what. This is what I'm fixing to talk about now. Sounds like a scene from an action movie or something, like a Bruce Willis movie or something, right?
Arnold Schwarzenegger.
Yeah,
Rocky.
This is insane. This happened on Friday night, okay? The officer in command over the unit that deals with Arab crime, okay? The Arabs, in the middle of the night, this is a man, he lives with his wife and his kids, right? In the middle of the night, came to his house and shot up his house through the windows and everything else, like a scene in the movie, just to try to get him, right? But thank God no one was hurt.
Thank goodness.
But I mean, my goodness, this sounds like a movie. Doesn't sound like reality.
I know, and these are the people we have to deal with constantly.
Yeah.
You know, and unfortunately, you have to be strict with them.
Yeah. They
And,
all
and the
crime.
thing of it is you'll have somebody you know, an Arab you know, for years and years and years, and all of a sudden he'll turn radical.
Yeah.
You know.
Yep. Yep.
So
Because it's the pressure that the terrorist organizations put on
them. Exactly.
yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah, it's a known thing that what they'll do, like let's say there's an Arab working in a restaurant, right, for
Yeah.
20 years, been working
Yeah.
with the same people.
Yeah.
And then all of a sudden he got in some debt. Maybe he gambled, maybe he borrowed to build a new room in his house. It doesn't matter. He got into debt. And they told him either you pay it now or we hurt you, or you can take this knife
Yeah.
and go to where you've been working
Yeah.
for 20 years and stab him or something.
Yeah, and I mean, and they're so ruthless, they won't even do that. They'll just go up to someone that is like innocent, don't really have problems, and say, you do this or we'll kill your family,
Yeah,
or
yeah.
something. So, you know.
Well, the Cave of the Patriarchs is in Hebron. What that is, if anyone doesn't know, it's where Abraham is
Yes,
buried.
right.
Yeah, there was an 18-year-old. He was caught. It wasn't able to go through with it, trying to go in there and stab Jews during
Yeah.
their prayer time. But everywhere it's heating up. There's more and more
Yeah.
things happening everywhere you look.
Yeah. Well, one thing we might mention that they people aren't aware of is in Hebron at the cave is Israel goes to great lengths to make sure all religions can, you know, participate in their way of believing.
Yeah.
And so they have, because of the Arabs feel like that belongs to them, and of course the Jews know it belongs to them. The government made it where the Jews do here, the Arabs do here, they do this day, they do that day, to try to keep, you know,
Yes.
both parties being able to, you know, to worship like they would like.
Right, absolutely, yeah. So we're always, in Israel, we're always trying to come up with mediums and compromises and stuff.
And the world's not aware of it because they hear all of the lies from the Palestinians and all the people that go and believe the lies of the Palestinians.
Yeah, exactly.
You know,
That's
like-
one of the reasons why we do this part of the videos every
Yeah.
week.
That's just like that last war in Gaza, you know, where Israel did what they had to do, and then after a while the world kind of went crazy about it.
Yeah.
But what would they do if in their backyard they were constantly being bombarded with missiles and, you know.
Absolutely. Yeah, well, you know, during that, leading right up to that 11-day war you're talking about, what would America do if Mexico or Canada or anyone or somewhere, when the president of the United States went to talk in some city, let's say in Dallas, they fired missiles into the city where the president was trying to get the president, because that's what happened just the day before that war, right?
Yeah, exactly.
But still, anyway. On Sunday night at 9 o'clock, there was a single man that was found trying to climb over the border from Lebanon border. The IDF shot some warning shots in the air and he ran away. On the night before Kippur, right, Yom Kippur, and on minutes before Yom Kippur, it happened again where a man was caught trying to climb over. This time the IDF caught him and interrogated him, and he said he was just trying to run away from Hezbollah because, I believe that.
I do too. Plus, the situation in Lebanon is horrible economically. Besides the terrorist situation,
Everything, yeah, absolutely.
So,
it's really bad there. Super bad.
So I don't have a problem with someone trying to leave there.
Yeah. Well, on Monday, a 17-year-old terrorist from Hebron stabbed 2 Jews in the Jerusalem bus station. Like I said, there's been a lot of this going on this week. And before he was able to stab him before he was neutralized by the Israeli security forces. And another was stopped trying to stab an IDF soldier in Gush Etzion.
Yeah. Well, you know, the Arabs love to do things on the Jewish holidays. So we had Rosh Hashanah, now Yom Kippur, and then at the beginning of, you know, Monday or so of next week, we have Sukkot. And so Sukkot, I mean,
Yep.
and so you know, and you see at the checkpoints the soldiers are very alert, watching as we go through. You know,
Yeah, absolutely.
keeping us safe.
Well, our Prime Minister, Naftali Bennett, was in an interview on the evening news this week. He was asked if the reason that he's not going in to Jenin, because it's pretty obvious that in Jenin is where the last 2 terrorists that escaped they're at.
Yeah.
And to go and get them, and also the reason why he doesn't go ahead and take care of Hamas with all these rockets that's starting to fire up again, is the reason because he made a coalition with the Arab parties who are terrorist supporters.
Yes.
And he knows that if he goes after them, they will disassemble the coalition, meaning he's no longer prime minister. We go back to election, right?
Yeah. And he don't want to lose his power.
Yeah. So obviously, as a politician does, he wiggled his way out of it. But just the fact that is.
But everybody knows it's true.
Reality that we're living in, then it tells that's the whole story. Is no matter what he says.
Yeah. Exactly.
Well, during the first hour of Yom Kippur, right when it first started, Yom Kippur came in, which again, I was telling you, Yom Kippur is the holiest day of the year for Jews. It's a day of atonement. During the first hour of Yom Kippur, an Arab was able to stab someone in Jaffa. And during his interrogation, he said he came into Israel just to kill Jews. He was just looking for any Jew to kill.
At least he was honest.
Yeah. Exactly. Don't forget to join us on thegoldenreport.com, and thank you for the support for all the feeding of the hungry here in Israel and everything else.
Oh yes, because there are many kids going to bed hungry, and so it's very important that.
Yeah, well, they say 1 out of 4 kids in Israel go to bed hungry.
So that means we need a lot of help getting food
to as many people as possible. Amen.
Yes.
Yep. Well, until next week.
Yes, but I have a few things.
Oh, okay.
I just wanted to let everybody know that Wednesday, of course, the eve of Yom Kippur, was Daddy. Of course, the new people don't know it, but I call my husband Daddy. It was our 48th anniversary.
Happy anniversary again.
Thank you. And so I just wanted to let everybody know that we're still strong and going. We might be old, but we're still there.
Absolutely, amen. Okay, well, until next week, God bless.
God bless. Shalom, shalom.